Hello and welcome back to City Skylines. So ladies and gentlemen, today is part 21 of our Vanilla Let's Play, and we are over here in the suburbs of Vanilla, the great city of Vanilla. And unfortunately, for some of these people, they are going to be losing their houses. Obviously not all of them, but some of them I would like to bulldoze. Specifically, these two roads here. So I'm going to go through, and I'm going to... Actually, no, hold on a minute. I need to not do that. I need to move the bus line first, otherwise the bus line's going to get super weird. So let's just pop in there and get rid of that stop. And that should be fine. So let's go ahead and just get rid of these roads, because I want to go ahead and get ourselves a bit of a dock in here. And I also want to get a new stretch of road going through this area. So I'm also going to move the crematorium to about there. That should be fine. In terms of zoning, I think we're okay. So those guys are all going to be moving out, which sucks for them, but, well, I don't live there, so I don't care. It's fine. It is nothing to worry about at all. Let's go ahead and get rid of that bit of road as well. And I'm gonna just go straight through here with another stretch of this avenue, which I think is gonna be the easiest way to do this. So it's gonna curve along there a little bit, in that way a little bit, and sort of around like this, sort of following the curvature of the hill. Then I want it to curve down to about there. And I kind of want it to come over here somehow. I think, honestly, something like that might be the easiest way to do it. Just a big old curved stretch of road. Because what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put in the harbor into this area. And possibly also a cargo harbor. Not that I think we need it. I just think it would be nice to have. I've also noticed we have over $11 million, which is absolutely insane to have in City Skylines for me. Especially, well, sort of. I don't think I've ever had a city do as well as this one's doing. I might be wrong in that. I also realize this connection here is very dodgy and dangerous to have, so I'm maybe going to let this area sort of dead end about there and force traffic through that bit instead of any other way. So I think that might become a very busy stretch of road over here, but we'll soon see. This bit is undoubtedly going to be quite busy indeed, but that's fine. We could put more houses in here. I think that might be a nice idea. But what I want to do first is absolutely prioritize the construction of this area. So, I think what might be good is to do a cargo harbor there. And possibly also, if I could get this one to line up properly, it would be real good, but I don't think that's going to be a thing we can do, unfortunately. I would like two of them right beside each other. I don't think it's going to happen. I could do that. But they are at different heights, so let's not do that for the time being. Let's actually go in with a bit of terrain editing and see if we can make this work. So if we select that height and just do this. So that seems like a pretty almost straight edge to me. So something a bit like that should be fine. That should work. So that should let me go ahead and put a cargo harbor just there. Then one at the same height is entirely possible. It's going to be a little bit further back, possibly, but maybe we move you and move it along a little bit. So it's sort of like that. And then this one still doesn't really want to sit right. That's unfortunate. I could do that, but different depths seems a bit weird as well. Oh, this is going to be real tricky, isn't it? I really want two of these right beside each other. I'm also spending so much money faffing about with these. I really want two of them right beside each other. I just don't think it's going to be a thing we can do. Which definitely sucks, but... well, that's City Skylines for you. That's vanilla cities. Let's just go ahead and try and flatten the terrain again. We'll try and get it as even as we possibly can. which is easier said than done, I'll put it that way. We'll try that. That looks like a good stretch of space to play with. So something like that there. And why is that one so far back? Hold on a minute. We need the water to readjust, because at the moment it's going to be a little bit funny. So once the water readjusts, we should be able to play with this a little bit. So the water's readjusted. Let's bulldoze you, and let's see. So that would go there, and that would go there. They are a little bit apart, but that's okay. That is completely fine. Can I connect these? Yes, I can. Again, just a tiny little bit apart, but I really don't care. I've got them to work. That's all I needed. There is actually a beach here, which is interesting, and quite a few rocks. So we're going to want to get rid of some of those. Just around that area. I think I could put some back in, but clearing out some of those is probably for the best. Maybe we want to go ahead and continue this flattened section of land around here to about that point. Because if I do that, what I can do is go in and put the regular harbor in there as well. Obviously, the terrain is, again, going to need to... Or not the terrain, the water is going to need to just fix itself there. I would like to flatten a little bit of this land as well. So once the water sorts itself out, which I think it's done, we can go in with this and throw it about there, I think. So that should be pretty good. I want to go ahead and bring this road down to there and bring this road straight through to there. So those guys are linked together. I could put some keys in there to make this have a much straighter edge to it. I don't know if that'll work, but we can totally have a look. So the keys would sort of go like that, which, I mean, if I went ahead and placed the dock, I think I can place docks on the key. I think. I might be mistaken by that with that assumption, but I think it's a thing I can do. So if I do that, we'll just do that for a second and see if I can do this. Then bulldoze that bit of road and that bit of road. Oh, I can totally do this. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's place this just there for a second. Because what I want to do is then extend this... right, that's annoying. I want to extend this straight down to about there. So to about that point. Then bulldoze these guys, and this bit of road, and this bit of road. And we're gonna just extend to... This actually makes things so much easier as well. To about there, I think. Maybe right to the edge of the map. That could work. So to about there. Alright. So that gives us this beautiful section of flat sort of sea wall to put the docks on. Which is what we wanted. So I want these to be kind of close together. And then I want the regular dock just there. And just there. I know I don't need two of them, but I want them. Those can connect together. And those can connect together. Then this road just comes straight over. Then this road goes straight over. And that's beautiful. That is exactly what I want from this area. It is a little bit built up for what it realistically is, which is a harbor way out of the city. But I think it looks awesome. I'm so happy with that. The unfortunate thing, of course, is that technically speaking, I can't turn these into one-way roads because the roads here are connected to the buildings. But what I will do is I'm going to double up on the roads a little bit. And I'm going to do this. So this road is going to run to there. Then this road needs to come back like... No, that's a bit weird. I don't know why that's not linking up perfectly, but okay. That's fine. Run that to there. Run a bit of two-way road to that side. And this should also be two-way road just there. This bit is not really wanting to connect, which is... Well, it's annoying the bejesus out of me, but I can make it work. If I just do a little bit of a connection like that. There we go. That's all right. So that one-way road is going to come in super useful for directing traffic sort of around the area. What I could do is a little thing like that. Which will hopefully let traffic through quite nicely. Could I get that to go at a perfect diagonal off of there? Not really, but I can, I guess, sort of do that, which might work. I guess we'll find out. Now that seems to connect nicely, that seems to connect nicely, which puts these at different angles, interestingly. Okay, that's odd. I guess that works. Again, a bit strange. Hold on a minute. What if I did that and then went from there to there? Much better. All right. So that way there's a couple of ways through to these roads here, but generally speaking, to get about, you're going to have to go in the one-way system. That's what I want to see. Now with that, what I'm going to do is double back again so that we have another looping sort of road thing here, which I know is weird, but it means that we have this big one-way system, which I think is going to be vitally important for the area. So let's do that. Let's bulldoze you and go from there to there. So this way traffic can absolutely move around and it can get to these roads, but it still has to obey this one-way system, which is going to come off of this road here. So there's going to be a road that goes to the right and in here, and then one that comes out from over here and connects back up to the avenue. I think that could be a pretty cool idea. I really do. Now, you can't do keys on land because I haven't got any mods, obviously. But that's fine. I will go ahead and just push this little bit of land back, just like that, so that we have a little bit of space to play with here, because I do think we should have a small industrial zone in here. I think that would totally make sense. So we'll go ahead and do even just sort of that far back. Could be pretty good and something like that. So it's a nice, simple industrial zone that will be, you know, benefited by these two docks. Just a couple of small industrial buildings there. I do want to do a bit more terraforming, though. We do have way too much soil availability, so I'll just sort of raise up some of the land over here and get rid of some of that soil. So something like that should totally, there we go. And then we just go bulldoze you for a second and just flatten a little bit more of that land. So there we go. That will give us a nice bit of space to play with. So over to there and down to there. And then I think a little bit of straight road to that point. And that should be fine. That'll give us just a small bit of industrial zoning, and that is all I wanted. I could put a power plant out here if I wanted to as well. I don't think we need one. And realistically, it probably would be one of these, and I kind of want to stay away from filthy technologies, but at the same time, it would... we're going to do it. We'll do it for the time being. We'll get rid of that eventually. I just think it's a good building to have out here to start with. So that's useful. That'll be good. This area also won't be polluted, which is great news. So, with that done, is there any way I can get this area to have sort of a straight edge to it? I could use the... oh, what is it? The flood walls in here. These things here, flood walls. They could be used. And I guess we can do a little test here. So if I build a flood wall to that point, right? Build that to there. Can I build the terrain up against it? No, I can't. That's a shame. That could have looked really cool if you could build the terrain up against the flood wall, but unfortunately, just not a thing you can do. That's all right, though. I'll just sort of detail a little bit with the terrain here so it doesn't look like it's just got that kind of perfectly straight edge the whole way around. So I'll do something like that, smooth out a little bit just in there, like so. And that seems pretty good. I would like to smooth this area as well, because a road's going to be going down there. In fact, maybe a proper little slope would be a good idea. So something a bit like that, and then smooth it out again. That didn't smooth it out at all. That was actually completely not what I wanted to do. But there we go. That seems to be fixed. So that's where a road's going to be going. The road into the area. Then the road out is possibly going to be over here. It could be here, but I think that might be a bit much. We'll try it. We'll give it a shot. So we're going to go from there. We're going to do a slope. Then we need to smooth all of this again. So we do this. And that looks pretty good. It's going to hurt the industrial zoning in this a little bit, but that's okay. So we have this this slope here. How's that? Quite the slope. All right, so let's give this a shot then. I'm tempted to use a section of highway road, honestly, just because it would be quicker and has more lanes, but we'll stick with the 2-lane one for the time being. I think that is absolutely changing its orientation as I move it along there, isn't it? Yeah, definitely, but that's fine. This bit over here is not perfect, but it'll do what it needs to do. So let's go like that, and like that. And then it would be nice to maybe just link those straight together. Possibly. Maybe we curve them. Maybe we curve these. We do something like 10 and 10 and 10. That could work. 10 and 10. And we could do the same here, or at least we can try it. Looks a bit weird, I know, but it's a way to, I guess, sort of make this work. So traffic can flow that way, then this can, I guess, flow straight down. Okay, that's fine. This is going to need to curve just a little bit, like that. Which seems okay to me. Basically, as long as this works, I don't care how ugly it looks. I know I'm spending a lot of time trying to make this look pretty, but initially, I do just want it to work. So that's a little connection there. That's a way in and out of the area. And it doesn't look terrible. It's not the prettiest, but it doesn't look absolutely terrible. I also realize I've just spent so much time doing this in a series that is supposed to be Let's Play. This episode just got a little bit Let's Build, and I do apologize for that. It's not supposed to, but I had this idea. The keys worked, like, it actually looks kind of cool, so I got a little bit carried away, and I apologize, but hopefully you can forgive me if this actually works. Which it better. Oh, I tells you, it better. Let's go ahead then and get some pipes in here so that we can see if this works. Oh boy. Let's do that. And down to there and there. Alright, and then it needs to go along there as well. Alright, then there's not really going to be much in the way of zoning along these outer sections of road, so I'm just going to sort of have the pipe follow the road a little bit. To, I guess there is fine. Alright, so those guys totally have water. These guys have electricity over here. These guys don't. But that's alright. Garbage disposal is actually going to be an issue because of how far away this is. So I am going to do, I think, an incineration plant there. And I'm also going to do one just opposite. Then we can do a little pathway in between those guys. Just like that. And I guess we could do one there as well. There we go. So that should be fine. I could actually move that one and put it in there, which I think works much better. Puts them on different roads, which means that the garbage trucks won't be taking up that much space. I also want to go ahead then and do some industrial zoning. And a little bit of industrial zoning there as well. And then I think I'm actually going to do some small amounts of office zoning. Because that could look kind of funky. And if I could do the same here as well, it will actually sort of hide the industry, which I know is cheating, but I mean, it's cheating. I'm admitting it, so it's okay. That's how cheating works, right? That's makes it okay. You just admit that you're a dirty cheater, which is apparently what I am. So let's just turn off snapping for a second and do that. That didn't work. What if I did that? Oh, that would. Okay. Hold on a minute. What the hell? Did we just have a ship come in? Because that's a lot of industrial traffic. My God. Okay. That was a bit unexpected. Let's do that little pathway there. And there's nowhere I can really take that, unfortunately. So what I'll do is that kind of thing. And we'll do that kind of thing. We'll do like a little fake park in there. I basically just wanted a space where I could do some more office zoning like that. I'm also thinking I'm probably going to change the style of these buildings to be vanilla as opposed to European because, let's be honest, bit of a weird space to have old European looking buildings. But we'll do that eventually. Thus far though, quite pleased with this. I do want to put some trees up along this cliff line there. A couple of trees in here could be good as well. Those offices are going to be super useful for making this area look pretty cool. I do think that... No, that's a bit weird the way the zoning works there. I think I'll put some offices in there too. Again, going to change the style though. Actually, no. I don't want to do that. I want to do a little path that just goes through that entire space. Just right to there. Then the same on this bit. Oh, that's a lot of industrial traffic. That is going to cause all sorts of problems, isn't it? Because it gets to here. Oh, you guys don't have like... You do? Oh. Alright then. Well, that can go away. How is the traffic in this area then? Because that is a lot of industrial traffic going along that road, and it does have to stop by the bus stop here. I guess that actually... That kind of filters it, I suppose? This roundabout has gotten super busy. But it looks like the most of it is moving pretty well. It might back up a little bit here, but that's pretty cool to see, actually, that it is definitely moving. I'll tell you what we are going to need out here for sure, though. We are going to need a big fire station. So we're going to get one. And I think putting it there could be a good bet. Actually, even right at the edge. Right at the edge there would be a good space. So let's do that. Looks a little bit strange, but that's going to provide us with some pretty good coverage to most of this area. That is so much traffic. Oh my god. Yeah, we are going to have some problems with this area. There is no doubt in my mind we are going to have some problems with this area, but we'll make it work. We will totally make it work. These guys still don't have electricity, annoyingly. Would be nice if these areas built up, which they are slowly doing, I suppose. We can do some small bits of zoning there, too. I like this, though. I really do. I'm really pleased with this. I just want to watch traffic for a second, because, oh my god, there's so much of it. Perhaps we upgrade a section of road here. Perhaps this bit of road becomes 6-laned. That seems like it would be a pretty good idea to me, because I think it's going to need it. This bit too, honestly. I wasn't a big fan of it when it was 6-lane before, but I think at this point, we definitely need it. This bit's fine. This bit just services this area, so we don't need to worry too much about that. But the rest of it, we do need to be concerned about. Let's make this a district then. Let's go ahead and make this an official district. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to suggest that you can name this district. I haven't really done that with any districts in this city, and it's not something I'm going to do with every district. I'm not going to go back through and say, hey, let's all go rename the districts with viewer suggestions. But because this has been a bit more of a Let's Build episode than, you know, a regular Let's Play episode, I figure to make up for it, we will go ahead and let you guys name this harbor. So, for the meantime, we're going to call it Blank Harbor. So it's just Blank Harbor. But we'll come up with a name between me and you. We'll come up with a name, and we can name this place something beautiful, something cool, and interesting. I do really like the idea, though, of going in here and going to some rocks and doing a few more just big sections of rock in there. I know it's not necessarily the place you'd want to see giant rocks right by the harbor, but I think it looks kind of cool. I think it looks interesting, a little bit treacherous, and that's kind of fun. I mean, it's not necessarily fun for the people that are, like, you know, going to the harbor, but I'm not going to the harbor, so I don't care. Not my problem. Now let's go ahead and do some decorations here. I want to go in and just place a whole bunch of trees to make the harbor look a little bit nicer. I'm not going to use this same tree for the whole thing. I mean, I am initially, but you'll see what I'm going to do. Gonna go in and place a bunch of these. Sort of equally spaced apart, more or less. This one at the end's a bit weird, but that's fine. Then, I'm gonna go in with the lighter tree, and occasionally I'm just gonna replace one tree with that. So that way it looks a little bit more random. I'll place two there, because that was equally spaced. That one's a bit small. Can I get a bigger one? There we go. That's a nice big tree. So that'll do. We'll go and replace you as well. And that one. There we go. So that just looks kind of nice. Nice little wall of trees there. Oh, hello. The size of you. My God. Oh, it's built up. It's actually built up. And now that I look at it, I actually... Oh, my God. That's actually really pretty with the European... It almost looks like... If you look at it from here, you can imagine there is like a whole town behind that. And then you just sort of come up and it's like, oh, there's nothing. But I actually really like that. I think that's really, really pretty looking, so I'm going to stick with it. We do need to put some trees along this space, though, so that is a thing that I am going to go ahead and do. Okay, I might have done a little bit more detailing than just along the pathways, but I think it's really paid off, because if we go ahead and zoom out, I love how this area looks. I'm so pleased with it. There are a few areas that we need to fill in with some trees, but the detailing around here, I know it's not much. I know it's quite basic, and there are some empty, kind of awkward areas, a bit like this one, which probably should be, I want to say industry. So I think we'll do a little bit of industry there. This space, I think I'm going to put a crematorium into, just so that we do have crematoriums available out here. There is actually a fire just there, which is good, because it proves that these guys do actually respond. Oh my God, look at that. I've never seen them pull over. I get that that's not supposed to happen, but that's really cool to see them pull over like that. That's awesome. The crematorium should be quite useful there. We'll see a couple of industrial buildings pop up. Pollution in the area looks to be clearing up a little bit. It was worse. I think there is always a sort of low amount of pollution from industry, even with an Eden project in the city. As for traffic, it is busy, definitely. Definitely noticeably busy, but this way, it's actually okay. It is, oh no, it is starting to back up pretty badly. It looks like a lot of it is trying to get into this area, so we might want to look for express ways to do that. I don't really want to turn this into a highway. That's something I will say. I'm not really interested in going, hey, let's just turn this all into a big old highway. Because I feel like that's sort of, It's not really with the aesthetic that we're going for here in vanilla. Don't know why I couldn't say vanilla. But yeah, it doesn't really match the aesthetic that I'm going for here. Which sounds really pretentious and obnoxious, but it's true. I am going for something a little bit more European than that. I'm going for something a little bit more relatable in terms of, for me anyway. There are a lot of dual carriageways, and this is about as close to a dual carriageway as you can get in the vanilla game, so I'm sort of basing this whole thing off of what I know. It's why the airport in Emerald County, if you've seen that little-known series, Emerald County, it's why the airport in that's not necessarily a big, grand airport. It's based off of Belfast International Airport, which, funnily enough, isn't in Belfast, and is also quite small. It's quite a humble airport, so that's what's going on with that. That's why it's not this huge, grand airport that you might expect it to be. That's why I do a lot of roads like this. It's why I don't generally do highways. It's why I like roundabouts, because there's a lot of roundabouts in Northern Ireland and the UK, so that's why I'm not trying to, well, I am sort of trying to justify my decisions, but that's why I do a lot of the stuff I do. It's based on what I know, and it's why I build the way I do. I build based on what I know and what I see, rather than all this other stuff. And yeah, I could go and look for inspiration on Google, and I do sometimes. I could look in other places as well, but Google's my go-to. But I like building based on what I know as well. Eventually, I'll totally get into looking up inspiration. I used to do a lot. But I've been having fun with this whole just building what I know thing. It's kind of fun. It's a fun thing to do. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And the UK, in terms of road layouts and city planning, is actually difficult to emulate in City Skylines, to be honest, because the UK has grown naturally over such a long period of time. It's why London is such a pain to build in games like this, because you end up with something that's just... It's a mess. It's a city that burnt down once upon a time, and then they kind of rebuilt it slightly as it was, but with some changes. London is a crazy, crazy city to build, but also fun. I remember I tried recreating London in SimCity 4. Not on the channel. I was very young when I tried doing that, but oh, it was fun. It was really fun trying to do that. It really, really was. Anyway, this area here is hopefully going to build up relatively quickly. I would like to get a few more trees along here. I think this area is going to be kind of barren if I don't. So it looks like a lot of the trees in there are actually the tall trees. So we'll sort of make this area a little bit more dense and start bringing some trees over this way to be a nice barrier for the suburbs, between the suburbs and the very, very busy road filled with industrial traffic. Put a few on this side as well, just like that, so it sort of covers over. And still needs to be a bit more dense. We can totally make it work, though. So something a bit like that seems fine to me. We'll carry it over this way as well. Bring a few down this way to about that point. That can actually fade and feather that way too. So that should be pretty decent. We can get some oak trees in there as well. Just again to add to the density of the line of trees. So something a bit like that. Absolutely works. I'll do a little bit in there, a little bit in there, and a little bit back here as well. There we go. I think that looks decent enough. It'll look better when it's fully built up, that's for sure. I do want to get a couple of the darker green trees in there as well, just to thicken up the tree line. So there we go, just a few of those to thicken it up, and along there as well. Just a couple. There we go. That should look pretty good once this whole area is built up. At the minute, it looks a bit like a mess, but no, that should turn out pretty well. Still need to do some detailing in here with some trees, but the area has generally built up. And ladies and gents, I'm actually going to leave it there for today. I'm super happy with how this whole thing's turned out. It's kind of a small project for the episode, but I think it looks really good. I'm so pleased with it. So yeah, what shall we call Blank Harbor? It is entirely up to you. So go ahead and leave your suggestions below. If you see someone commented, someone that has commented with a suggestion that you like, then do feel free, and I do urge you to go ahead and like that comment, so that we might end up with a situation where like the top comment is the one we go for. I might just go for the one that I think is the best. I don't know. And my other question actually is, should we keep the should we go with the what we have at the minute, the default theme for Blank Harbor, or should we go with the vanilla theme? Now, vanilla in this case is going to be the more modern looking buildings, whereas the default theme is the European looking buildings that we currently have. The European buildings, by the way, for those of you that might not know, I believe came with the After Dark expansion pack. They aren't a mod or anything, they are just from that expansion pack. So I'm going to leave that up to you as well. But with that in mind, ladies and gents, I'm going to leave it there for today. So thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines and the Vanilla Let's Play Part 21. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!